are tired. But it is not the kind of tired that sleep can fix. It is something deeper, a weariness that comes from living your entire life braced for impact. You have been on guard so long, you have forgotten what it feels like to simply be at rest. Look at how you move through the world, always scanning, always prepared, always defended. You did not choose this lightly. Somewhere along the way, you learned that being open was dangerous, that letting your guard down meant getting hurt. So you closed, you hardened, you became vigilant. And for a time, perhaps this protected you. But now, look closely. The walls you built to keep danger out are keeping everything out. Not just the threat, but also the peace. And here is what happens when you live this way. When you are prepared for conflict, you see conflict everywhere. A glance from a stranger becomes a judgment. A delay becomes a personal affront. A silence from someone becomes abandonment. You are not responding to what is actually happening. You are responding to what you expect to happen, based on what happened before. The past has become a lens through which you see everything. And so you create over and over again the very thing you are trying to avoid. This is not your fault. This is simply what happens when the mind learns to protect itself. But you can see it now. You can see that you are not reacting to reality. You are reacting to your own projection. The world has become a mirror of your internal state. When you are defended, you see attack. When you are closed, you see rejection. When you expect conflict, you find it. Not because the world is inherently hostile, but because that is what you are looking for. So what is the way out? Not through fighting harder, or building better defenses, or finally winning some imagined battle. The way out is simply seeing this clearly. Seeing that the threat you are defending against is no longer here. That you are carrying the past into the present moment. And in doing so, you are creating the very tension you think you are responding to. When you see this, something releases. Not because you force it to, but because the whole mechanism of defense is based on a misperception. You thought you needed to protect yourself from what is out there. But what is out there is largely a reflection of what is in here. When the mind is at war with itself, it sees war everywhere. When the mind is at peace, even conflict loses its sting. This does not mean you become passive or naive. It does not mean you stop setting boundaries or discerning what is healthy. It means you stop creating enemies where there are none. You stop interpreting neutral events as personal attacks. You stop living as though every moment is a potential threat. And what remains when you stop defending? Not vulnerability in the sense of weakness, but openness, the ability to meet life as it actually is, rather than as you fear it might be. This is not something you achieve through effort. It is what is already here when you stop adding the layer of defense. Peace is not something you create. It is what remains when you stop creating conflict. And the conflict you have been fighting was never really with them or with the world. It was always within yourself. A war between what is and what you think should be, between how you are and how you think you need to be. To stay safe, when you see this, truly see it. The war simply ends, not because you won, but because you realized there was never actually anyone to fight.